Welcome to this Functional Skills Level 1 English training video. This video contains information and guidance on Criterion 14. Understand organizational and structural features, and use them to locate relevant information. For example, index, menus, subheadings, and paragraphs. In a range of straightforward texts, Highfield used the term organizational features to cover both organizational and structural features. At level 1, and by the end of this session, you should be able to identify organizational features and explain how the features help the reader. Let's start with what organizational features are. Organizational features are things you can see within a text that help you find information. Usually, organizational features stand out from the body of the text. This makes it easier to pick them out. A good example of this is a title. Articles, instructions, reports, and adverts usually have a title. The title is important as it tells you what the text is about. A title can also be called a heading. Look at this example. The title of this article is National Apprenticeship Week. Let's move on to subheadings. Subheadings introduce different ideas in a text. They're similar to titles, but a title is always at the start of a text. Subheadings can be used throughout. In this example, we can see that the title is How to Stay Healthy. The writer has used the subheadings Eat Well, Water, Stay Active, and Sleep to separate different ideas on how to stay healthy. Let's move on to bullet points. Here, we can see that the writer has used bullet points to list ingredients. If they had written this as a sentence, it would be long and difficult to read. This way, the reader can clearly see what ingredients they need. The information has been broken up, so it is easier to process. Numbered lists are similar to bullet points, as they break information into easier-to-read sections. They also give an order for the reader to follow. This makes them especially useful for instructions. A caption is a small amount of text used under an image. Captions provide more context or help to further engage the reader. For example, in a text explaining the benefits of training your puppy, you might see a caption like this: Benny loves his training sessions. This caption supports the idea that training is good for the dog. It also shows the dog enjoys the training sessions. Captions often have a smaller font and may be italicized. Let's move on to text boxes and tables. A text box is simply a box that contains text. The box helps separate the text within it from the main body of the text. In this example, we can see that the text box says, 25% discount on all hot drinks for the first week. This stands out to the reader and may make them want to read the body of the text to find out more information. A text box can also be used to give additional information or highlight important information. Here's an example of a table. Writers use tables to organize and simplify information. In the example on screen, the table shows information about a weekly plan of activities. The reader can easily pick out a day and see what activity the writer is doing. For example, on Wednesday, the writer has coffee with Sarah. Finally, let's look at footnotes. A footnote is a way to add additional information to a specific part of the text. It provides context without breaking the flow of the text. A footnote may also be used in place of a glossary to provide the meaning of certain words or phrases. A footnote can be shown through small numbers or asterisks. In this example, the writer has put a small number 1 at the end of the sentence. Many people claimed this was because he shattered a mirror when he was 5 years old. Some people may have heard of the superstition that breaking a mirror brings bad luck, but this sentence could be confusing to those who haven't. Because of this, the writer has included a footnote with an explanation at the bottom of the text. Reflective surfaces, such as mirrors, were believed to be mystical or spiritual, so breaking a mirror was thought to be bad luck. This footnote provides context and clarifies the writer's meaning. Now we've covered some organizational features, let's see if you can spot them in a text. You should be able to pick out 3 organizational features from this text. Why has each feature been used? Pause the video while you write down your answer, then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's look at the answers. We were looking for 3 organizational features. In this text, we can see a title. This tells the reader that the text is about keeping your houseplants alive. It also has bullet points to separate the information and help the reader see the steps clearly. We can also see a text box. This gives us additional advice on how to tell if you're overwatering your plants. Let's try another. Most text will have a title. Challenge yourself and see if you can spot 3 other features in this text. Pause the video to read the text and write your answer, then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's look at the answers. In addition to the title or heading, the writer has also used subheadings. This helps the reader find specific information on topics such as planning meals and cooking at home. A caption has been used to give additional information about the image. It shows how the image clearly links with the text. In this example, it tells us the image is of a balanced meal. Finally, the footnote gives us extra information about alternative foods. Some people may think that frozen food isn't as healthy, but the footnote clarifies that frozen food keeps most of the nutrients. Before we move on to the exam practice, let's recap organizational features. This criterion can be tested through multiple choice questions or open response questions. In a multiple choice question, you will be asked to identify which organizational feature has been used in the text. You will be given 4 options to choose from. Only one will be correct. In an open response question, you will be told which feature has been used in the text, and you will be asked to explain how the feature helps the reader. Pause the video while you revise the organizational features and their uses, then press play when you're ready to continue. First, we'll do the multiple choice question. Pause the video to read the text in question, then press play when you have your answer. The answer is D, a numbered list. The writer has numbered the steps to break them up. This gives the reader an order to follow. Now let's try an open response question. Pause the video to read the text and answer the question, then press play when you're ready to continue. Let's look at the answers. In text B, the writer has used a text box to give an extra tip on how the reader can create a relaxing environment. The text box gives us extra information. The footnote has been used to explain why avoiding caffeine is a good idea. It helps us to understand the text further. Let's recap what you've learned in this video. You should now be able to identify organizational features and explain how the features help the reader. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.